Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. We'll wait a couple of moments for everyone to join in. Hello, Fatima. Hello, Anne. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Vidette. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Kara. Hello, Tisha. Oh, thank you. I'm feeling springy today. Hello, Penny. Hi, everyone. Hello, Cherie in Florida. I hope it's beautiful in Florida today. Hello, Darren. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we're going to talk about embossing powders. But we're also going to talk about some other things too. But hi, Shannon. I wanted to specifically talk about embossing powders today because they're on sale. So it makes sense for us to talk about them when they're on sale, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We have a whole bunch of different things that we're going to talk about, but I did link below, wherever you're watching this, I linked the sale for the embossing powders. So we're going to talk about embossing powders, what makes Brutus Monroe embossing powders different, and I went shopping today and picked out all of the most popular embossing powders, and I brought them down with me. So let's go ahead and head down to the table. Oh, yes, and please follow. Yes, we just started our TikTok, so make sure you follow that. So this morning, while I was playing around with embossing powders, because, I mean, isn't that what everybody does? Hello, Monique. Isn't that what everybody does at, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning? Play around with embossing powders and do different things with them. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and clean off my table, because my table is a hot mess right now from doing a whole bunch of different other things. And luckily, do you know what's back in stock? It's that season again. Look what just came back in stock. Do you remember this? This is our highly coveted Jelly Bean Squeaky Clean. So this Jelly Bean Squeaky Clean has been out of stock because it was out of season, and it's back now. So just remember, when you receive your Squeaky Cleans now, they have this clear protector on it, and you just peel it down. The reason this clear protector is on it now is so that it doesn't leak in transport, but I'm going to use this to clean off my desk. Hold on. Oh my goodness. This is a straight up jelly bean. So if you want to grab that, now is the time, because when it's gone, we only make it one time a year, and that is, of course, during the spring months. And when it's gone, it is gone. It is not an evergreen product. It only comes out in the spring. And it smells, look at all of that it just took off of my mat. And it smells so good. So good. It's probably one of my favorites. I mean, I really like when the holiday scents come out, but, okay, Kara. But this one's a good one. So now I'm all fresh and clean, and I have, hello, Kathy. I have a very clean and nice work surface, and it smells like jelly beans in here. So can't get enough. So I just uploaded this morning, because while I was playing around with embossing powders, I was trying to swatch them out, and I was going through all of them so that we had, kind of a record here for the studio. And I realized that my swatch sheet that I had, I really wanted to be able to see what they look like on dark paper as well. So this morning, I designed a very quick little swatch guide that you can get right now at brutusmonroe.com, completely free. 100% free, but the way that I created this was to go with the Brutus Monroe swatch dots. Have any of you used the swatch dots before? Have you seen the swatch dots before? This is going to be your best friend. These are on sale as well. And these are going to be your best friend when it comes to swatching. And I'll tell you why in a second. So what happens is you take your swatch guide that you print out. You get it completely free. You get it 100% free. You don't have to pay for it. And then you take your swatch dot. And of course, your this piece has been designed to fit the swatch dot perfectly. So these swatch dots, you just place it. Oh no. Well, it's okay if it's not perfectly centered. Yours could be perfectly centered, mine will not. So you're just going to place it right on top of there. You grab yourself another one, and you place it right on top of the dark piece, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And then this is double-sided, okay? So I'm going to show you what that means in a second, because we're going to swatch our first one, all right? So these are double-sided swatch dots. You can use these for anything you're swatching. I use them for foil. I use them for... So for instance, I could show you... we can actually probably do this same one for foil. But let me show you foil real quick on a secondary sheet. So if you take your... and I should have just put swatch guide at the bottom, but I guess, you know, we can do a different one for each one. All I have to do is change the wording. But let me take this and I'll show you. Let's do one real quick for foil. So we'll put a swatch dot here, and then we'll put a swatch dot on the black. And this is a great guide for you to be able to see. I know, right? This is a great guide for you to be able to see what you got. So there's that, all right? So then I suggest taking some sort of like a pick tool. You could just use, if you have fingernails, you can. I have, as we all know, the big crafty man hands with little nubby fingernails. So I need to use like some sort of a picking tool to get this off. And of course, I'm trying to do it away from myself. So that's, you know, I'm not right on top of it like you would be. So I'm just going to peel that off. And now that's sticky. Okay. I'm going to peel this one off. And now this will be sticky as well. All right. I would suggest doing them separately if you're doing the embossing powder, and I'll demonstrate that. But let me grab now a piece of the most beautiful, beautiful foil in all the land. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this right on top of both of these. Okay? And you're going to try to, I messed mine up a little bit because it's wrinkled, but you place it right on top, and then I'm going to peel this off, and it will be adhered to that. Now, this spot didn't really get much, so we'll go ahead and do it again. But now you can see very quickly and easily how different these are going to look onto different colors. So on the black, you can see it. I mean, it's very rainbow-ish, and it's picking up much more of the rainbow color, whereas on the white, it is not picking up as much of that rainbow color, okay? So you can do this with any foil you would like. So I'm gonna grab another foil, just really quickly. Another one of my favorites. I think this one might be out of stock, so I'm probably torturing myself by showing you it. But if you do the same thing with, and I'm just going to cut off a little piece. This is my favorite foil that I have ever done with Deco Foil. Have I told you that I'm the luckiest guy in the world lately, that I have a line of products with Deco Foil? Can you believe it? I know, I can't either. So then we'll take another swatch dot, and we can take two of them. And again, we'll just place this like so. And this is a great way to see if it's, hey mom, this is a great way to, oh my goodness, a great way to see if it's different on different ones. Now what you can also do is you can also cut this in half. So if you want to do a half so you can see more of the color underneath, you can do that too. So we're going to go ahead and press these down. But this is really great for embossing powder. I mean, it's really great for this too, but embossing powder, you'll see it's really, really awesome because you don't have to get out your embossing ink. So again, we're just going to take our foil, press it down. You want to press it down pretty well. You don't want to burnish it. Just use your fingers, the best tool that God gave you. And then we're just going to peel this off of here. You kind of got to get it started. And you got to make sure that it's down because it will. This is, I'm not using really great paper. You really want to use like a cardstock. You don't want to use a printer paper like I'm using. You want to use something a little heavier But you can see there, now you can see how they look, you know, the same on both. So it makes it really, really, really simple. Isn't that cool? And then once you fill it all up, all you do is you're going to take, so this is orange sketch. Now, obviously, you'll need a different, okay, and then magical shattered glass. Okay, so then you would just write, obviously, what those are. But let's get back to embossing powders, because embossing powders are really what we want to, is really the star of the show today. So my swatch dots are already prepped on here, and let's grab, let's start with fairy dust, because fairy dust is one of my absolute favorites, and this is one that is 100% going to look different on both, okay? So we will start with, actually, we'll just do both of them at the same time. We'll give it a try. I mean, if it doesn't work, you know, we have plenty of swatch dots, and we have plenty of swatch dots, and we can print as many of these as we want. All right, so now it's exposed. The adhesive is exposed. Now we're going to take our embossing powder, and we are just going to apply it right to the swatch dot. And the great part of this is, remember, this is completely already, not completely, but this already has adhesive on it. So all we're going to do is we're going to tap, 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 and look. Our embossing powder is perfectly. You could not get, I promise you, I don't care how good you are or how great you are at embossing, or if you've been embossing since 1902, I promise you, you will never, ever, ever get a perfect circle like that from stamping. It just can't happen. It won't happen just by the laws of physics when it comes to using a stamp and embossing ink. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my heat tool, and we're gonna make sure it's hot. So it basically, what I do is I hold it like this until I can't hold my hand anymore, and then it's ready to go. Because you always want to take a hot embossing gun to your embossing powder. And the best part of this is it really, our sparkly embossing powders don't become sparkly until they are heat set. I mean, they're sparkly in the jar, but they really get sparkly once they're heat set. Okay, so now, look at this. This is fantastic. This makes me so happy. What a time to be alive in the crafting industry. So, now you can see, let's zoom, shall we? Now you can see, and I'm hoping the camera's gonna have a really hard time picking up this glitter, but now you can see the difference of how sparkly they are, maybe not zoom, of how sparkly they are and how different they are on the different surfaces. So again, what we would do is we would take our pen, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna write fairy dust. Okay, and that is our fairy dust embossing powder. How easy was that, right? How simple, so simple. All right, let me grab another one so we can try it out. Oh, here's another favorite. How about pearly rainbow? Top 3 favorites to start with. You will definitely want to get alabaster. It's our best selling of all time. I would get rainbow sparkle. My top 3 are rainbow sparkle, alabaster, and penny. Those are my top 3 favorites, but I think everybody else is going to have their favorites. What if, in the chat, if you wouldn't mind, tell Miss Deneen what your, or not Deneen, tell Miss Debbie what your favorites are. I mean, at 25% off, you might want to double that. You want to double that. You try to grab 6. Because Raven is spectacular. It's really hard to pick. All right, so we have fairy dust is now done, and we're gonna do this whole thing. Does the jelly bean come in the big bottle too? So this is the biggest bottle we have. We do not have a refill for it yet. No, we did not do a refill for it. Yeah, gilded is good too. They're all good. They really are. All right. Yeah, Raven is incredible. Raven is our black. All right, so now we're going to do pearly rainbow. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we'll peel off. And again, the great thing about this is you're going to be able to see what it looks like on the dark cardstock and what it looks like on a light cardstock. And this is how you can swatch out. You swatch out, have a swatching party. That's what I do. Have yourself a swatching party. All right, so now we're going to go ahead, and of course this has glitter in it as well. We're going to tap off most of it. But this one has a pearl shine to it. I'm going to dip it in again just in case, because I want to make sure I get as much embossing powder on there as I can. Now, these swatch dots, just so you know, they are very, very sticky. They are super sticky, so they are going to hold on to your embossing powder without a problem in the world. I can promise you that. Without an issue. All right, so now again, we'll grab our heat tool. Hi, Kim. Yes. Icicle is a really great basic to have. Icicle is clear, yep. So now we'll heat up this one. And again, I am doing this on just like typing or like computer paper. You would not be doing this on computer paper. You would be doing this on, you know, I'd say get yourself at least a 65 to 80 pound weight to print this on. But now look at the difference. So this is a pearl, so you can see the pearl. And then when I move this, you can also see the pearl that is on the black. So see the difference? Because this is a clear, so you can still see the glitter, but this one is a pearl. So it definitely has a lot more oomph to it, so to speak. Does that make sense? Can oomph be a term? Can we say oomph? I think that's a good way of putting it. It has more oomph. All right, so now I'm going to use I don't have my Brutus Renault dry cloth down here, which is one of my favorites for getting glitter. I mean, the microfiber cloth will work, but the dry cloth is really the best way to get the glitter off of here. So let's go ahead, and this is now Pearly Rainbow. Okay, so that's Pearly Rainbow, and now let's go on to our next one. Let's see what else I have in this bag of tricks. Oh, hold on. I wonder if I want to do Alabaster Sparkle. Let's continue with the rainbows, shall we? So now this is a crowd favorite. This has been a crowd favorite for a very long time. This is our Rainbow Sparkle. Rainbow Sparkle has been very popular. It's been very popular with this sale as well. Pizzazz, I like that, Pizzazz. So we're going to go ahead and add another swatch dot. And now what you can do is you can put down all of your swatch dots at once if you want. You can do whatever you would like. Put down your swatch dots first, come back, do whatever you would like. But again, I want you to understand that I am using the cheapest printer paper to do this on. Because you can see, I mean, it's literally curling, the backer is curling. I would not suggest doing this on printer paper. Get yourself a good piece of 80-pound white cardstock. Our perfect blend would be great because that's 80 pound. Use some of our perfect blend paper, print it out on that. All right, so now we're gonna go in, and I'm actually gonna write it first. So this is Rainbow Sparkle. Okay. And again, we're just going to tap, tap, tap. And these are all of our beautiful sparkles. Now we have, of course, a lot more sparkles, but these are the basics. All right. Oh, that's a great idea, Kim. I never even thought about that. That's a fantastic idea. It keeps the colors in the lane. I love that. All right, so again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to heat this up. Rainbow Sparkle, I think, is my favorite on the black. And you'll see why. Oh my goodness, can you see that already? Oh my word. Look at that sparkle. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these embossing powders, they're it. They're the ones. They're it. This is the time. This would be the time. With that 25% off, now is the time to grab yourself. Would the swatch dots stick to the glitter transparency film after you do the glitter technique? I'm not sure exactly what technique that is, but if you can elaborate, I might have the stuff in the studio to try. All right. So let's grab Pot of Gold. Pot of Gold, excuse me, is a new one. It's a brand spanking new one. Just came out, but it is on sale. Oh yeah, the ink I think is on sale too, right? Is it? Or am I making that up? I might be making that up. I mean, it's crazy how beautiful it is on black. It's because it's a clear base. So since it's a clear base, it really shows up beautifully on black. The pearl shows up beautifully on black too, but it's not a Oh, I love it, Kim. You'll have to post a picture. I love those racks of Brutus Monroe. Oh, good. The ink is 25% off too. So yeah, grab that. Grab yourself a reinker too. Whoopsies. All right. So we're going to fill up our board today. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to do this. We'll be halfway done, but I'm going to do the whole thing. Is that okay? Do you care? Is that all right? Do you mind? All right. Whoops. Oh, I poured out way too much. That's okay, though. Oh, this is so pretty. So this has a green and gold base, and it has rainbow glitter and gold glitter mixed into it. So this is really a lot of bang for your buck. This is a lot of bang for your buck with this powder. Oh, that's a great deal too. So again, this is a great indicator of what your powder is going to look like. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this one swatched out yet. But boy, oh boy, is it gorgeous. All right, so this, holy cow. All right, so this one, it still has that green hue, but you can see the gold undertones and all of the glitter. Yeah, that's one you want to get. That's definitely one you want to grab. All right, and again, we can just kind of get rid of all of the... I mean, I'm going to be covered in glitter today. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, every day I'm covered in glitter. It's really not it's not anything different than what it normally is. Okay, so... Oh, Gilded Sparkle. Oh, let's do Rose Gold. No, let's do Penny next. So Penny was our very first embossing powder that we ever launched. And I don't know, a lot of you have been with me for quite some time, but when we were working with the manufacturer on Penny, they kept sending me samples and sending me samples and sending me samples, and they just couldn't, it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't right. So I finally sent my last ditch effort, my last email, my last plea was, he said, Christopher, what are you looking for? What copper do you want this to be? And I said, John, because John was the guy that we used to work with, but now we do all of our own embossing powders. We get them directly manufactured specifically for us. And I said, John, do you have a penny in your pocket? And he said, no. He said, but I can find a penny. I said, you find the shiniest penny that you can get your hands on. And when you find that shiny penny, I said, that, you have it. I said, that is, Mermaid Tail's coming back this summer. Oh, you stamp on transparency film with stays on, then you use your clear glue in a small section, do your glitter one color at a time. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that would work. That would work. You sure can. You can do it for that too, Anne, absolutely. And I said, I need for you, when you can find a fresh penny, because look at this. So that doesn't look very impressive, right? It looks like brown powder. It doesn't look like much, but I promise you, this is really, the penny powder was probably the first powder. Well, it definitely was. It was the first powder that I ever debuted for Brutus Monroe. And it was always the one that I would debut for people and show people, because this powder is really what put us on the map, the penny. Now, of course, our alabaster is our best-selling embossing powder of all time, which is our white. And I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, it would definitely work. I mean, when I tell you it's sticky, it's sticky. It could, it's sticky. It's very sticky. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write penny. Let me get some of this powder out of here. But this is really the one that when you see it happen live, this is it. So think of a brand new penny while I'm heating up this heat gun. Think of, if you've ever seen like a brand new penny, think of what that looks like, and then watch this happen live. Look at that penny. If that's not a brand spanking new penny, I don't know what is. It is bright, it is vivacious, it is just absolutely stunning. This is a one-of-a-kind embossing powder. I mean, it's a penny. This is, I mean, I don't have a penny in my pocket, but I don't even think we have a penny upstairs. We're always out of pennies for some reason. Is there like a penny shortage, just pennies? Because I could never find a penny. I can't. All right, so now so you all know, well, we'll do her in a minute. Let's do rose gold, because rose gold is another one that's very popular, but this is perfect to do it right next to penny, because, hi Penny, to do it next to penny, because everyone always compares rose gold to penny, and they are in fact very different from one another. So let's go ahead and place those down. And I can take my pen and write down rose gold. But again, this is the simplest way to catalog and categorize, I guess you could say, all of your embossing powders. This is, I mean, I just think it makes it so simple, and it's a nice relaxing project. Put on your favorite TV show, put on your favorite movie, sit down, grab your embossing powders. And now again, this doesn't have to just be Brutus Monroe embossing powders. If you have embossing powders from all of our incredible peer brands out there and all of our, partners in creativity, you can absolutely use it. I mean, this isn't like a secret type of adhesive that we created just for ours. This adhesive will work with any embossing powders out there. But we developed it for ours just because, we knew so many folks would want to swatch them. So if you go to www.brutusmonroe.com, it's on the very front page. And make sure you check out Scoozies while you're in there, because we added so many new candies. We're getting so many new candies in for Easter. And I can tell you that the ice cube ones, they're chocolate. They like literally melt completely in your mouth, are so good. So good. All right, so now we're gonna heat up our rose gold. And again, I wanted to do this next to penny, so you could see the difference. And it's metallic and gorgeous. But it is definitely much different than the penny. Okay, can you see that there? How gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now we have to do Scowleen. So all of you, or most of you, I think, know the story of Scowleen. So look at how beautiful this is. So Scowleen, there was a show that was on when I was little, and the show was called Moon Dreamers, and my sister watched it. I watched it with her, but it was her favorite show. And there was this character, and she was the villain, but she was fabulous. And she had this crazy, crazy green hair and fabulous purple eyeshadow and eyebrows and these big red lips. And she had the most hilarious outfit that had eyeballs on it, and she glowed in the dark, and I loved everything about her. So when I was little, I told my mom that I wanted this Scowleen doll, and my mom was like, "We're never gonna find that doll. It's not happening." So my pap, God rest his soul, he found the Scowleen doll for me, and I had it, and I took that Scowleen doll with me every single place that I went. Everywhere I went, I had that Scowleen doll. Well, years had passed, and the Scowleen doll went missing, obviously. I'm now 37, and I got it when I was like 7. So this is 30 years ago. So my dear sweet Kara, who's not here, I think, with us anymore. She is, I think, went back to work. She's not with us. She's still with us. She's still alive. She's just not in the chat anymore. I think she went back to work. She found one for me on eBay. And now I have my Scowleen. And can you believe it that since I mentioned Scowleen, I now have 3 or 4 of them that folks have found me and sent to me. And I am so fortunate because I will never be without my Scowleen again. I will never be without her again, because I mean, when I tell you, I mean, I took her, I don't know if my mom's still here with us, but I took her everywhere. I mean, everywhere I went, I had Scowleen. But this is, I mean, it's a really pretty powder for Halloween. I'll use Mic Drop next. It's a really pretty powder for Halloween. It's also a really pretty powder for, I mean, I mean, it could be a pretty powder for anything. It has green and purple glitter in it. So it's a black base with green and purple glitter. And it's very, very pretty. And of course, they always look even better once they've been set. All right, look how shining. Oh, there she is. Shining, shimmering, splendid this looks. Whoa. I mean, look at all the glitter on here. It's just amazing. This is just absolutely amazing to me. It just looks so good. All right. So again, we're going to try to get some of the glitter off. It's okay if you have a little overshot on here. It's not a big deal. It's really not. All right, so now we'll do Mic Drop, because that's the one that, this is the polar opposite of Scully, but you did bring back Vintage Sparkle. Oh, but we did not bring it back yet, but you'll be very happy. It is coming soon. Vintage Sparkle will be here very soon. I think about 3 weeks. 3 weeks it will be back. We just talked about that in our meeting the other day. So this is Mic Drop. So it has these, can you see them? Beauty Guru mode activate. I don't know if it's going to work. There we go. Can you see? It has large pieces of like shard glitter. It's almost like a, I don't know how to explain it. They call it like, it's like a icicle glitter is what they call it in the industry, I think. I can't remember. But the chocolate caramel hearts are delicious. I just took a look at Scoozies. I love Idaho Spuds. Those are not easy to find in stores. I know, right? Yeah, we just got the Idaho Spuds in, and they are delicious. You know what else is delicious? I don't know if we have anyone here from the UK, but we just got in. They are called Velvet Bars, I think, or Violet Bars. I don't know. Someone will have to tell me on the website what they're called. But Jess actually found them, and she said we have to get these in. We have to get these in. So I said, okay, we'll try them. I know I do need a little desk vacuum, huh? I need to figure out where I can order one from. But so she said we had to get these. We had to get these. I was like, all right, let's get them. So we ordered them and we all tried them. Oh my word, they are. It is a chocolate covered. What's the word I'm looking for? Chocolate covered honeycomb. Violet crumble, that's it. Oh my Lord. It is a chocolate covered honeycomb. And when I tell you, it was delicious. It was delicious. All right, so now we're going to do mic drop. And then we only have one left. We've been having fun. But I have one special one that I'm going to do too. Oh, mic drop is so pretty. So again, you're going to have to see them. You have to really see them in person. It's really hard for me to show you. Let me grab my 5 o'clock. It's really hard for me to show you them on film. Oh my goodness, what is this, 1912? On the camera, because, you know, there's so much glitter that it's hard for you to see. Now, I want you to remember that, because this is going to make things a little bit tricky. So these are Violet Crumble Bar, yep. Okay, so this is mic drop. Now the difference is, so this is Rainbow Sparkle, and this is mic drop. Mic drop has a black base and has an iridescent glitter in it, and then Rainbow Sparkle has the rainbow glitter, but it's clear. So you could do this on other ones too. Everything is okay in moderation, Anne. Just don't eat the whole bar. If you're on a diet, don't eat the whole bar. Just give yourself a little nibble. Life's too short to not give yourself a little chocolate. I can certainly tell you that much. It is way too short. All right, so now let's do Alabaster Sparkle. Oh no, let's do Golden Gourd. Golden Gourd is a beautiful one as well. It's one of my top 5 favorites because it is, I don't know, it's hard to explain. That's why I want to go ahead and sample it out for you, because it's really hard to explain until you see it. So, yes, it's very good. Okay. So this is our last one, at least for this swatch sheet. Now, obviously, you can print out as many swatch sheets as you would like. Sandcastle will be back this summer. I love that you're bringing all of these ones up. I love it. Yes, Sandcastle will be back. That was a favorite. One of my favorites, too. Yes, we will have lots making a comeback. I have a feeling Kim's going through her stash right now and looking at what her favorites are to make sure that they're coming back. I have a feeling, a sneaking suspicion. Marshmallow Puff is available. Yes, Marshmallow Puff is still available. I know it's in low stock right now, though. I know it is in a low stock status, but we have more. We have more coming. Marshmallow Puff goes out of stock now and again because it is a very popular one. Because it puffs up. I mean, it literally puffs up like a marshmallow. All right. What was old is new again. I know, exactly. Well, the powders that we used to have like over 70 different types, and then we had to scale it back a little bit because we just have so much. We just had so much embossing powder variety that we had to scale it back, and now I think we have like around 40. Oh yes, the mystery emboss. Oh yes, Mint Julep would be a good one to bring back. We'll have to open up a suggestion, a survey of which ones you want to come back. Okay, and now that one is Golden Gourd. So Golden Gourd is a little different because Golden Gourd is a it's almost like, I mean, it's like a shiny orange color. So that's it. So that's our quick swatch guide. So we did, oh yeah, sour apple was a good one. We did a sour apple aqua pigment too. At one point. I can't remember. I feel like we're going way, way back. All right. So now let's talk about one of the top 3 most popular embossing powders of all time that no one knows how to use. So I'm going to use it for you today. All right. So that's my promise for you today. I'm going to use it for you today. So this is the Brutus Monroe Foil Reactive Embossing Powder. And everybody talks about it. Everybody wants to know about it. But there's not many people that know how to use it. So today, I am going to share with you how to use this powder. Okay. I can confirm. Actually, I cannot confirm because I don't know the exact month. I think it's July is when the mermaid box will be here. We always do a mermaid box every year. That's one thing you can always guarantee that we will have at Brutus Monroe. So I'm going to show you first, actually not in the Misty, I'm going to show you how to use this powder first with a stencil. And then I'm going to show you how to use it with a stamp. So basically what you do, and I think this is where everyone goes wrong when they're using it, you are going to take your piece of paper and you're going to grab your stencil. And we're just going to do a small piece of this one. We're not going to get too crazy. This is one of my favorite stencils. I can't remember the name of it. It's Doodle, I think. Doodle something. I'm going to take my pixie tape, which again just came back in stock. We have a lot of back in stock things right now. All right. And then I am going to take, now you will want to use a magic powder tool on this beforehand. Do as I say, not as I do, because I won't be using a magic powder tool just for the simple fact that I don't have a magic powder tool down here. I mean, I take that back. I have everything down here. It's just, they just cleaned my studio, and although I'm ever so grateful, I don't know where a darn thing is now. So I'm going to take just a dauber brush, and I'm going to take my Brutus Monroe embossing ink. It's on sale right now. Grab 1 or 2. Oh, yes, I love that. I agree. So I'm just going to take my ink and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pat it in this area. You want to get it good and inked up. This is the way to do it without stamping. And, you know, obviously doing it with a stencil. So this is just an alternative to creating those stenciled backgrounds without using the gel, because I mean the gel's great, but the gel takes a little time to dry. So I'm going to go ahead, this is 2 pieces actually, I'm going to take my foil reactive embossing powder, and you get quite a bit in this container. And the reason for that is it takes a little bit more of this powder. It's a little bit of a thicker powder. And it takes a little bit more of this powder to get your reaction to happen. And then you're just going to go ahead and you're going to tap off gently. Now the trick, and this is why I think everybody messes up, is you do not heat set this. Okay? You do not heat set it. That's where the trick is. All right? So then you're just going to take your foil and you're just going to lay it right on top. Gentle. I mean, it's going to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. It will stay where it's supposed to. And then you're going to put it in your little sleeve and you're going to send it through your laminator. Okay? It's as easy as that. Oh no, my laminator turned off. Oh, I hate it when that happens. The safety mechanism. It's probably still hot. I think it just turned off. Yep, it just turned off. I think we should be okay. I mean, it's been on for a while. It had to get hot. Okay. Well, you could do it one of two ways. You can heat set it if you want. It's not a bad thing to heat set it, but I just I know we do need to do that. We definitely do. So, I could say that I wouldn't use it with like very fine detailed sentiments. You can use it with like bigger, chunkier sentiments, but you don't want to use it with like real fine sentiments. I can tell you that it's much more of a mixed media look, I guess you could say. But I have done it with some finer sentiments. You just want to kind of experiment with it. All right, and then when we reveal, you want to let it kind of cool a little bit before it reveals. And I'm hoping that my laminator was hot enough. It turned off, so we'll see. But then when you reveal, oh yeah, it's perfect. Look at that. Now you can see if I used my magic powder tool, I wouldn't have any of that. But look at that. Isn't that incredible? So now I'm going to show you it with, because that's an excellent question. I'm going to do it with a stamp now, and we'll do that as an experiment. So now, look how, that's just incredible. Imagine doing a whole background like that. So now I know everybody always gets all up in arms whenever they see me bring this out. This is not available. Remember I said I was the luckiest guy in the world? When I release a new foil, ThermoWeb sends me a giant roll of it. This is a giant roll. It's a whole roll of the Brutus Monroe Gold Static. So I get rolls of it like this. This is not how it will come to you. I wish that ThermoWeb did giant rolls of all of them, but that just isn't feasible. But this giant roll is what I receive whenever I launch a new one. So it is not available to everyone, unfortunately, but I always have to preface that because we always get emails. Every single time we'll get an email. How do I get that giant roll that Christopher used? Unfortunately, it's not available. It's not available. All right, so let's do this. Should we do this on black? Let's do this on a dark piece of paper. Or no, not black. Let's do this on a brown piece. All right, so let me grab my stick and stamp mat. Remember, this is still my original. Look how dirty and gross it is. It still sticks. It still works perfectly. I'm going to place this right here. This one could probably use a cleaning. I will say that. This definitely could use a cleaning. But I'm going to take one of my favorite stamps that I don't know if we still have these in stock, but this is the Sunflower Bunches. And this will show you how it looks when you use it on a stamp. We're just going to place this. We'll just place it wherever. Doesn't matter. Is this piece of foil going to be big enough? Yeah. All right. Make sure everything's stuck down. I usually use my hand to condition the stamp. And now we're going to ink this up. I usually, missing a whole piece there. And again, we will stamp it one more time for good measure. Oh, it's on sale for $3. Grab it. Grab it and go. And I'm gonna remember, peel with your stick and stamp mat. I'm gonna peel that off. Once your stick and stamp mat gets to the right spot, you'll know. When it gets to where it needs to be, you will know. All right, so now I'm gonna take our foil reactive embossing powder. And again, it's not going to look like much. You want to make sure that all of your little areas are covered. I think that's pretty good. But it does show up white when you put it on, but it's not white. It's a clear base. It's a clear base sticky powder. Okay. Now we're going to take our foil. I have to do this. I'm sorry. You won't be able to see me. All I'm doing is I'm placing the foil on top, but I have to do it down here close to me because I have to make sure that it goes perfectly on top. And again, it's really hard to mess this up because it's going to want to stick to the powder. And now this sheet that I have is very wrinkled, so I'm hoping it goes through okay, and I'm hoping it's all right, but I should have gotten probably a fresh piece that was all wrinkled from being in the drawer. But I can hear it crunching. It's like flattening out in there. So I think we should be okay. Fingers crossed that we should be all right. But again, it was a very wrinkled piece, a very, very wrinkled piece of foil. Okay. Just waiting for it to go through, and then I have one more thing to share with you, and then we'll be done. I'm going to grab a piece of this paper for the next demo. All right, so I hope the laminator was hot enough. Because this laminator, this Scotch laminator, it really has seen a better day. I really want to, I think we're going to start carrying the minks because they're my absolute favorite. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Look at that. Now, remember, it's wrinkled, so it's going to have wrinkle lines in it. But that looks pretty perfect to me. Does this, you know what this looks like to me? This looks like a foil press, doesn't it? Like the foil, the hot foil plates. I mean, it's perfect. Let's get a close up and see if you can see. Beauty Guru mode, activate. It's not going to work. There we go. Isn't that perfect? Yes, I didn't use it, but you should. I don't have one down here. But isn't that incredible? Again, so simple. So simple, so easy. You just do not want to, you don't want to heat set your powder ahead of time. And it works perfectly. All right. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. And that is these puppies. Everyone's been asking about Olo. What is Olo? What the heck is this? Let's talk about it. Because we have them in stock. And not only do we have them in stock, we also have a promo right now. So if you purchase any of the Olo marker sets, you will receive the Simple Blend paper for free. So the way that these work is that it is 2 markers in one. So see, this is 2 different markers screwed together. So this color, I changed mine. So this is aqua green and fluorite. So what you can do is, let's say that you like other colors together. So let's say that you want to use like pink and turquoise together a lot. All you do is separate them and you put them back together. Okay, so now you can have 2 different colors on one. So you can change this to whatever you want. But these markers, oh my goodness gracious, they are absolutely incredible. So these are an alcohol marker, and they both have a brush tip on them. You know, I always do the flick test on the brush tips, and this is absolutely beautiful for doing like a grass, like a grass, what's the word I'm looking for? For like a grass flick, I guess you could say. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in these sunflowers because I figured why not? I'll show you what, and I'm going to just tear this so that I can get a good little piece to stamp. And we'll just place this in here. I'm using a big chunky piece, so I won't use my stick and stamp mat. And let's take some Raven ink. Oh, you did good. And I just used embossing ink on this, but that's okay because the Raven ink loves to grab onto the embossing ink, and we'll stamp this a couple of times anyway. Okay, there's one. Stamped pretty good on the first one. And now let's go in with the second one. And remember, the Raven ink from Brutus Monroe almost dries instantly. Let me pop that right in there. Yep, so look. I can instantly go over top of it with my hand. So now I'm going to grab my heat tool, and I'm going to make sure that it's fully heat set, because you have to make sure that it is completely heat set so that it won't bleed. And again, this is an unnecessary step really, but I do it because I want to make sure that we're really, especially when I'm using light colors, I always want to like quadruple check. Yes, blade of grass, that's perfect. And let me turn off my little thing there. All right, so let's take, so the one that I'm using is yellow ochre and pudding. I love that. I did learn that the primary has the same colors as the other sets. Oh, I did not know that. That's a great tip. Great tip. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to add my color. And this was not completely dry, so it's bleeding a little bit, but that's because really and honestly it's because I used the Misty. And I did way too many stampings, so there's a lot more ink on here than would normally be on what you are coloring. And I'm just going in and I'm just very finely, and I'm going to try to get some of this ink off of the great thing about the nib is they won't be, you can't really cross-contaminate them because you can just get the color off. But I'm just going in and I'm just very quickly, let's zoom, very quickly, let's go to the coloring cam. Just very quickly adding some color there. And again, you want to kind of prime your markers and get any ink off of them. I would not suggest stamping and then instantly coloring, but it can be done. Oh, so I would say the thing that I like most about them, now I'm just adding a little bit of a deeper shade. This is the yellow ochre. The cool thing about these ones is they have the same, now this is what our sales rep told me, but they have the same amount of ink in them as a Copic does, but it's 2 markers instead of 1. So the ink chamber on these is the same as what an ink chamber would be on any other alcohol marker. It's just this ink chamber is oh, keep it underneath. What happened? Oh yeah. Is the same size, but you get 2 markers in 1. And that's what's great about the Olos. I mean, at least in my opinion. And you know me, I'm obsessed with coloring, and I've colored a lot of things. I'm obsessed with coloring. So now I'm going to use we'll use muscat grape and avocado for my leaves. And I'm going to go in with the lighter shade first. You can do this however you would like. You don't have to go in lighter shade first. You can go in with your darker shade first if you would like. And I just realized that's not a leaf, but it's a leaf now. Right? I mean, it can be whatever we want it to be. All right, so now we put that in, and I'm going to grab, so this is avocado, and I'm just going to add my deeper shade right into the leaves. And you can see how quick this is, because the two shades are on the same marker. Because I usually use about 2 shades. You can use more than 2 shades if that's your deal. I do not use generally more than 2 shades when I'm coloring, because I don't think it's necessary. You'll see some folks that bring in, 4 and 5 and 6 different shades. I'm like, what are you up to? We're not animating for Disney. We're making a card. So it makes it very, very simple. And now we're going to go in, and I have 2 different colors. So this is Buttercup and Daffodil. So I'm going to start with Buttercup, just in my center area. Then I'm going to grab some Daffodil and put that around the center. We might want to even use a little bit of a brown for our center here. And that's too dark. So this is Golden Eagle and Macaw. I'm going to add a little bit of Macaw right here in the center, just to darken up into, actually we might be able to use Golden Eagle. Let's see. Oh yeah. To just give the illusion of a little bit of a deeper shade. And there we go. And I'll go back in with our marigold. And it's just so simple. So simple, so easy. These markers really do make it simple and easy to color. Add a little bit of this shade in the center of these ones just to lighten it up a little bit. And I can tell you, if you are taking my class, for the garden party, we're gonna have to be talking about Olos. If that might be a hint. We are going to be talking about Olos in that class. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Oh, is there? We'll have to put that on our website too. We'll have to add that to our website too. That's great, Candy. Thank you for mentioning that. But isn't that, so simple. It took us 2 seconds to color that. Because again, the markers, let's go back out to the markers are doubled up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 markers, but I have 28 colors. That's what I love about the Olo markers. Yeah, the big white one is a blender. So this is 2 blenders on each side. And I like that too. So one side of this blender is a chisel, and the other side of the blender is a brush. And you can change out the nibs if you want. We don't have the spare nibs yet, but you can change out the nibs if you want. And I think come summer, we are going to sell them open stock. The only thing about open stock is, just so you know, is that you only get one side. So you technically buy 2 to get a full marker. That's the only confusing part. Oh, perfect, Penny. Thank you. But yeah, they're great. They work really great. I love them. Yeah, we have quite a few blenders, I think, still in stock, because we ordered cases of them. But again, as I said before, the Olo markers they're selling quick because they are really, really great. And they're a great price. And also, and you have to buy the adapter ring too for open stock. Yes. I don't know if they come, there was something about the adapter rings that they were coming or something. I can't remember. But I had to take the rings out of these ones, or I had to put the rings in or something. I can't remember. I had to do something. But yeah, we'll talk about those once we get the open stock, but we don't have open stock now. Look at me. I am so glittery. I am so shiny. I love everything about it. We're going to the mall later, and they're going to be like, what are you up to? But yeah, so they're really great. They are really fantastic. And oh, good, perfect, Penny. So yeah, so we'll have to grab some of those resources for the website. I love that. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you are able to grab some of those swatch sheets. I'm going to create some new swatch sheets for you all. that have those different variations on them, because I think that's important. And you can fill them in. So they won't have the names on them, just because I think when we start putting names on them, that makes it a little confusing. What we'll instead provide is we'll provide a list, so you can make sure like a shopping list. But it's, I mean, it's really cool and it's really easy. So make sure you grab your swatch dots too, because these don't really go on sale a whole lot. But you can get them in a bulk pack, which is what I was using. Yours will be branded. My stuff is never branded, because I get like the I get the leftover stuff. But if you trying to get some of this glitter off me. But if you are able to get the swatch dots, I promise you, you're going to be swatching everything. Your embossing powders, your foils, all the things you'll be embossing. You can emboss your flocks. You can emboss. You can swatch your flocks powders. You can emboss, or try to say emboss and swatch. My brain is not figuring the two out. You can swatch your glitters. I mean, there's so much you can swatch. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, awesome, Debbie. Well, thank you. And Debbie, is it your first order? Because if it's your first order, you get a special gift. There's a lot of really fun stuff that our team has been doing upstairs in the. They do have refills. Yes, I think. Do they have refills? I can't remember. I don't know if it's a refill or if it's they just say that the marker would be the same cost as the refill because it's a half marker. I can't remember. Oh, they do have refills. Okay, phew, I thought so. But yeah, so make sure to check out our TikTok. I'll share with you real quick the TikTok that I love from today. I'm hoping that you are following us on TikTok. If you do have a TikTok, or if you do follow a TikTok, you don't even have to have a TikTok, I think, to follow it. But this was my favorite. I can't play the sound because we'll get a copyright strike on YouTube, but let me show you. So this is how your orders get packed. And you can see the care that goes into every single one of your packages. You can see that this is actually, I believe, Natalia that's packing this order. And she wears gloves because she doesn't like the tape. The tape is like a sticky, wet tape. So she wears gloves because it makes your hands really gooky. I think everyone that packs actually wears the gloves now. But you can see that, you know, everything goes into these little packages. I mean, every single package is done this way. You can see that the bubble wrap, it's, you know, much more expensive for us to pack things this way, but it's the right thing to do. And then, of course, you will get your Brutus Monroe little envelope, and this is when she puts the tape on. So that's the tape that's sticky. And then the little sealing thing. So isn't that fun? So check out our TikTok. You can see here, there's a ton of behind the scenes stuff. This is a sequin mix that's coming out in March for one of our boxes, but she shows all sorts of really cool behind the scenes things. Like these are how our aqua pigments are made. That's our straight pigment that goes into the water and gets blended and mixed. But check it out. This is how all of our new deluxe sequin mixes have been made, and you can see, you know, how things get packaged. Look at all of those glitter glazes. Isn't that amazing? I got the subscriptions and like the way. Yes, oh, they sure will. Yep, they're getting really good up there. So again, this is just, you can see how there are so many different things on here. This is how aqua pigments get poured by hand. I don't know if you know that, but every single aqua pigment that you get is poured by hand. And these are the trays and trays and trays of the acrylic bubbles. We actually dye the acrylic bubbles in-house. So yeah, so it's just really cool. It's really, really cool. So make sure to take a look at our TikTok, because we're going to have lots of really cool things on the TikTok and lots of really cool behind the scene things, so you can see how things are made here, because we do make about 70% of the Brutus Monroe products are made right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Actually, about 20 feet away from me is where our manufacturing happens. So, and we're hoping to have the Create Your Own Ending event in person this year, and we're hoping to actually have it here at the store. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be more information to follow. But our goal is to have it right here at Brutus Monroe, and you'll be able to do a full tour of the building, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's only going to be open, though, to 25 people. That's it. We are inviting 25 people to the Create Your Own Ending event. It's going to be a lifetime experience because it's going to be at the store, and we're going to show you so many. I mean, it's going to be really, really cool. You're going to be able to hang out with the Brutus Monroe crew, and it's going to be right here at our location, which I think is going to be really great. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for being a part of my life. I appreciate you all so very much. And that's all I have for you. Remember to create something every single day, whether that's swatching out all of your goodies or your own ending. I love you very much. Thank you for the support, and I will see you all very soon.